Good afternoon, all of you once again. As I said, we just waited for 1 or 2 minutes so that everybody could join in. And now I can see that, people are still joining in, but it won't be right to keep you all waiting because you guys have already joined on time. So my name is Ratnesh Pathak, and we will be beginning with the webinar today. I am one of the senior counselors at Gyanberry. And as you can see, the topic for today's webinar is medical university admissions, all you should know. As you can see, there are many flags below, which means that we are going to cover a lot of information about all these countries in today's webinar. And on behalf of my entire team, I would like to thank all of you for being a part of this webinar. And I ensure you that you will receive a lot of valuable information in today's session. So please be there from start till the end so that you don't miss out on any important detail. We will be beginning with the webinar now. So before we start, it's only right to know a little bit about the company, Gyanberry. So as Gyanberry, we are already having a network of 30 plus countries. With that, what I mean to say is the partner network of universities that we have extends in more than 30 countries. It includes all the English-speaking countries, almost all the European countries, and many other countries beyond these two regions as well. As far as our accessibility to the universities is concerned, we have successfully crossed the mark of 500 universities worldwide already. Out of these, 200 of them, or more than 200 of them, are our official partnered, which means they have appointed us as the authorized representatives for handling student queries from the regions. We are also accredited by KHDA and by AIRC. For those who don't know, KHDA is the Knowledge and Human Development Authority, and AIRC is the American Independent Recruitment Council. Because of our expertise, we have already counseled more than 10,000 students in the recent past. And if you talk about the topic for today, that is the medical university admissions, we have already counseled more than 5,000. So you can see that we have a very strong hold over the admissions for medical universities. Before I move on to the next slide, one basic information I want to share with all of you, because people here in this webinar might be interested in different type of courses, not just medicine, it can be dentistry as well. So most of the information that we share today will be relevant for both medicine and dentistry, and also for many other allied health sciences field. So I might not be using the term medicine and dental all the time, but I want you to understand that a broader category medical admissions would mean the courses which are within the medical field, including medicine as well as dentistry. So please keep that in mind and don't feel that a particular course is not being, let's say, discussed about. So that's about Gyanberry. I hope you have some good information about the company now. Now, as I said, we will be covering information about different countries in today's webinar. So we are starting with USA and Canada. Needless to say, these two countries have the highest number of international students worldwide. If you take the total population of international students studying in every country in the world and add them, you will still reach somewhere close to the number of students who are studying just in these two countries. But then, is it applicable to medicine as well? Well, this is what we want you to be educated about in today's webinar. Both the countries are fabulous when it comes to the opportunities, and so are many other countries as well. So what makes a country or a university right is very subjective to every individual student. And that's the weapon we want to give you today. How to decide and what are the things that you should know before finalizing the university. So starting with universities in USA and Canada, let's have a look at a process which is followed for the medical university admissions in these two countries. So something very common for both the countries is that they require you to finish your high school diploma, which means you may be a CBSE curriculum student, you may be a A-level British curriculum or an IB curriculum or any other curriculum student. You'll have to finish your high school diploma, which is one of the eligibility requirements. Then you will also have to finish a 4-year pre-med degree. Now, when I say a 4-year pre-med degree, it means
ऐकायला हे आहे, तुला पण सांगणार आहे मेडिकलची बेसिक सुरुवात कशी करायची असेल तर आता आलास तर ठीक
I
आहे.
think one of the mic is not on mute. I would request all of you to please be on mute for the duration of the webinar, and that would be really appreciated. Now, talking about our topic that we were discussing about, you have to have a 4-year pre-med degree. Now, a 4-year pre-med degree is nothing but a bachelor's degree. I mean, don't worry about that too much. But what is a pre-med? will this be of no use apart from getting an admission into a medical field? The answer is no. It is a degree on its own, usually called as anything to do with biology. So it can be bachelor's in biology, biochemistry, biomedical. These are the usual choices the students make. After finishing this 4 years, or while you are doing your bachelor's in biology, you'll have to prepare yourself for the competitive exams. So in both these countries, the competitive exams most oftenly done are the MCAT, the Medical Common Admission Test, and the Dental Admission Test. Once you pass and have a good score in this exam, you get admission to a medical or a dental school. And there you will study a 4-year degree again, which is going to be a doctor of medicine or a doctor of dentistry. And then you finish your 2 years residency, which means if you look at from the point of view of the process to be followed, once you are in your final year of the high school, you will start the application for the university admissions for your pre-med, that is your bachelor's degree. Then when you are doing your bachelor's degree, simultaneously you have to prepare yourself for the competitive exams, give the exam, and after finishing a bachelor degree, you go into the medicine or the dentistry program, and then you have 2 years of residency. Just add the numbers you see on the screen. The answer is very simple. It will take approximately 10 years to finally come out of the system with a license in your hand to practice as an independent doctor in that country. So that's the process which is followed in USA and Canada, which is why a lot of people at times feel that because of the duration, there are other destinations which they should explore. And that is what we are going to do today as well, that apart from giving you information about US and Canada, we are also going to tell you that what are the other destinations that you can realistically look at without compromising on the quality at all. So that's about USA and Canada. Now, these are some of our partnered universities in USA. As you can see, one of them is University of Massachusetts in Dartmouth, University of North Texas, and Arizona State University. The list is of more than 50 universities, but I did not want to utilize this time in just displaying that today. So these are some of them where you can enroll for a bachelor's degree, as I said, a pre-med, which is a mandatory requirement, and then obviously continue for your medical program later on as well. Now, if you want to know about Canada, as I said, process remains more or less the same. These are some of our partnered universities in Canada, very popular Western University as well as University of Manitoba. And again, the list is a long list. And so we have only spoken about these two here. So that's about the process in USA and Canada. I know you have more questions regarding requirements and things like that, but that's why I told you that please be patient. Almost all the information will be covered in the best possible manner so that you're able to retain things, not just hear about it. So now after USA, we move on to the next very, very, very popular destination again, that is the United Kingdom. Now, as far as United Kingdom is concerned, the process in UK is quite different than what is followed in USA and Canada. The best part is that you don't have to have a pre-med degree, which means you can apply for a UK medical school straight out of high school. After finishing the high school diploma, you are eligible to study year 1 of the medicine program straight away. Obviously, there are curriculum specific requirements which we cannot go into depth right now, but there is no requirement of a pre-med degree like it was in USA and Canada, which makes the UK quite special in that case. So you finish your high school diploma during your final years of school, you prepare yourself for some of these competitive exams. Two of the most popular exams are UK CAT and BMAT. If you get a good score in that exam and you pass through the entire admission process, which includes series of interviews as well, you get enrolled into a medical school, and there you study a general medicine or a dentistry degree, which is ideally 5.5 to 6 year long. Which means the only numbers visible on the screen are 5.5 or 6, which is equal to your duration of studying the medicine program in that particular country. So easily you're able to save certain duration. If you choose this country, let's say, for example, there are advantages of both of them, obviously. But here we are just comparing the process from one country to another country. So that's how it is followed in UK. Now, as far as the universities are concerned, these are some of the partnered universities with Ganbury. You can see University of Aberdeen, University of Central Lancashire, and the Sheffield University. Now, these universities obviously have their admission process via the same UK UCAS portal, and you have to give the exams. But Ganbury can assist you getting admitted to these universities via an alternative track called as the foundation year entry. Obviously, you spend 1 year extra, but then that's a much more realistic way of getting into these universities and getting away from the mainstream competition. Moving on to the next destination that we have. Again, I repeat for those who have joined just in between, we are currently covering the process which is followed in different regions, and then we will be coming on to more important things like the admission requirements and even the summary of the fees. So just be patient and we will be reaching that part soon as well. As far as Europe is concerned, the amount of students who are traveling to Europe in the last 5 to 8 years, specifically for medicine, has been on a tremendous rise. And there are a lot of reasons behind it, which we will try to cover in today's session as well. One thing which will stand out, in Europe than any other country is that there is not a centralized process. Different universities accept candidates differently. Now, some of you might think that, okay, that might make things more complicated. But then the fact of the matter is it reduces the overall competition by a great margin. And it gives you the ability to choose the university which you think is right for you without having to compete with, let's say, all the millions of students who are appearing for the same exam. We will be covering that in detail as well. So now, if you look at the process, again, the same advantage that you had in UK, which means you don't have to do a pre-med, is applicable here as well. You finish your high school diploma and then you appear for a university-specific entrance test. That's the best part. So as of now, you may feel that, okay, if I apply to 5 universities, do I have to appear for 5 exams? The answer is absolutely yes. Is that a disadvantage? Absolutely no. You can ask any student you want who has gone through the process, they would always prefer writing more exams, because on one given bad day, you have a bad day and unfortunately you're not able to do your best. The attempt is gone because that was one centralized exam. But with Europe and the universities within the Europe, they all have their own exams. If you don't do well in one of them, you have your second preference, you have your third preference. All of them will give you equal opportunity. So if you look at it that way, it's something which is really cherished by most of the students and their parents. We have a 6-year general medicine or a 5-year dentistry program in European universities, which means you will still get the same degree which you were getting. I mean, when it comes to the name of the degree, it might change. Like in UK, we have the MBCHB degree, also called as the MBBS degree, just like here in India. But in USA and Canada, you have the MD program, the Doctor of Medicine. The same happens in Europe as well. You have an MD program, and it's a 6-year program which will cover the same content as a 5.56-year MBBS in UK or any other country for that matter. And the total duration, as you can see, again, only 2 numbers on the screen, it's 5 to 6 years. So this makes it very obvious that why, specifically for medicine, there are a lot of people who prefer UK and Europe, let's say, over the most popular destination being USA and Canada. There are more reasons, obviously, to choose as well as to not choose. It's, as I said, very subjective. But yes, this definitely simplifies things a lot. Now, as far as the network of Gyanberry is concerned in the European Union, these are the countries where we have English taught programs. In most of them, the only exception I will be talking about in detail, don't worry about that. So Czech Republic, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Spain, Germany, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Cyprus, and Romania. These are some of the universities, some of the countries which have programs taught in English. Now, let me explain few of them with the help of examples, starting with Ireland. So Ireland is hosting some of the most reputed universities in the world, not just for medicine, but for almost all possible sort of courses. Look at the Trinity College Dublin, look at the University College Dublin or the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. They are among the highest ranked universities, not just in Ireland, but also worldwide. They have excellent infrastructure for medical studies. They are accredited by all renowned bodies like the MCI, which is now the NMC, National Medical Commission, the World Health Organization, and the General Medical Council in the UK as well. And the admission is on the basis of high school grades, which means that there won't be any entrance exam required for non-EU students. I believe many of you would be non-EU students here, and there would be no entrance exam required for you. So the admission will be on the basis of your high school grades. Undoubtedly, it will be competitive, but then yes, if you have done good in your high school, these are the universities you can definitely look up at. Now, as I said, the only exception coming on to Germany. So Germany is also one of the highly preferred destination as far as medical studies is concerned, with there being only one challenge, which I'm sure all of you are already aware of. that is the language proficiency. There is no medical university in Germany which teaches the entire course in English for medicine. They may teach, let's say, some of the technical courses like engineering or business studies in English, but not medicine. So if you want to study in a German public university, the reason we have made this bifurcation specially is because German public universities don't charge you any tuition fee at all. All you pay is a very minimal semester contribution. So if you want to get into that sort of an arrangement, look at the path. Any public university will want you to have a German proficiency of B2 to C1 level. So there are 6 levels of German language. B2 is the 4th level, C1 is the 5th level. So out of the 6 levels, you should have this much proficiency to be able to apply for a German public university. Obviously, there is no tuition fee. And another thing which comes along with that, which is a given fact, is that again, the process will be highly competitive. Who doesn't want to study in a world-class destination without paying a tuition? Like, it's best of both the worlds. The only challenge is German language proficiency. And there are more people who are learning German language these days than probably you are aware of right now. So it's again an option which a lot of people prefer. They do spend some time in learning the language, usually can be anywhere between 1.5 to 2 years. And then they do go for this process as well. What we have for you is a very interesting arrangement which comes from UMCH, University Targu Mures Medical Campus in Hamburg. So this is the only university which does not require you to have any German proficiency, which can accept you on the basis of 0 German proficiency. And definitely, it's not a public university. It's a state accredited university, which means the quality of education remains the same. The value of the degree remains the same, and the opportunity and exposure probably better because being a private university, tuition fee would be applicable. The first 2 years of your medical course in this university are taught entirely in English. At the same time, they also train you on the German language. Now go back a little bit and try to remember, what did I tell you? How many years does it take to acquire German language proficiency? If you do well, it can be done within 1 year. But let's say you are doing it multitasking along with other activities, like let's say studying, it will take 1.5 years, or let's say at max 2 years. So that's what this university gives you. It gives you those 2 years to focus on your studies as well as the German language without wasting any year. And then the remaining 4 years of your medical degree will happen in the German language. So that's a way you can get a German degree without having the German language proficiency from the very beginning. Now, is there a backup option? The answer is absolutely yes. So suppose you started studying the first 2 years in English. At the same time, you're learning the German language. But let's say you want to continue studying in English for whatsoever reason. The option remains there as well. The only thing is the campus will change. So this university has another campus in a country within Europe called as Romania, and you will be doing the remaining 4 years of your education in the university campus in Romania, and there it will be taught entirely in English. So you have an option to study entirely in English as well. That's the reason we did list it in the very beginning within our partner network offering English taught courses. Just the arrangement is a slight different. You can continue in Germany with German language proficiency, or you can go to Romania and continue the remaining 4 years there in English as well. So that's one of the very interesting options which I thought you should be aware of. Moving on to Spain, this is one of our partner university again, Universidad Católica de Murcia. It's a very, very popular university in Spain. It offers a 5-year English taught dentistry program. For those who are looking at dentistry program, this is something very interesting for you. It's rated 5 stars by QS. It's also within the top 200 in the European universities, has a worldwide accreditation of its degrees, and the admission is without any entrance exam, which means on the basis of your final year grades. Definitely something to consider. Now, if we come to Czech Republic, again, one of the most renowned healthcare system in the entire of Europe. It has a lot of universities, public universities rather, for international applicants. The most popular ones are there on the screen right now. They are also the top 3 ranked universities within Czech Republic: the Charles University, the Masaryk University, and the Palacký University. Now, Charles University itself has got multiple campus within the same country of Czech Republic. They are called with different names. Let's say the first faculty of medicine, the second faculty of medicine, and then there is another faculty which is in a different city called as Hradec Králové, which is faculty of medicine. In Hradec Králové, we call it as HK in simple terms. Then we have Masaryk, which is situated in Brno. For those who don't know, Brno is one of the most popular student city in the world. If you do a Google search right now, in most of those aggregators, it will come within the top 10 student cities in the world. And then we have Palacky, which is in Olomouc, a very peaceful town in Czech Republic and offers a very, very, very good environment for medical education again. So in these universities, you have 5-year taught dentistry program, 6 years taught medicine programs, 3-year physiotherapy, 5 years pharmacy program, all taught entirely in English. So as I said in the very beginning, we are only going to talk about English taught programs. And so only those countries which have completely English taught programs are going to be covered today. Now, if you talk about Italy, again, one of the supreme medical healthcare facilities within Europe lies in Italy. There are 2 universities which we are dealing with. One is Università Cattolica and other is Unicamillus. Usually, universities in Italy will require an IMET exam, which is just like the UK CAT, the nationalized exam. But these 2 universities take exam with Ganberi, which means you don't have to participate in the nationwide exam called as the IMET. You can write the exam with Ganberi and get admitted to the university. Since all of you are here, I would also want to share a very pleasant news with all of you. For the Università Cattolica exam this year, the worldwide rank 1 and the worldwide rank 2, both were from Ganberi applicants. You heard it right. They are worldwide rank 1 and rank 2, one student from UAE and one student from India who got accepted to these universities with worldwide rank 1 and 2 respectively. They also offer English taught programs for both dentistry and medicine, as you can see here. So I'm just running this part quickly because there are a lot of universities and I want you to be aware of all these options. We have options in Hungary and Poland as well. In Hungary, we are talking about the University of Pécs. Again, just like Charles, one of the oldest universities on the planet, roughly 13th century is when it was established. So we're already looking at 700 years of medical education. We have University of Białystok, which is a public university in Poland, and University of Warsaw. They all offer English taught programs in dentistry, medicine, and pharmacy. Talking about Cyprus, again, a very popular destination within Europe. There are 2 universities which we are dealing with in this country, the University of Nicosia and the Near East University. Again, they offer the English taught programs in medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy. Now, we move on to a separate section now because this set of countries, they do not belong to Europe. So we have made a separate section for them. The countries like Georgia, Russia, Turkey, and Malaysia. So quick recap, so far we have covered USA, Canada, Europe, and many countries within Europe. And now we are moving on towards the next segment, which is Georgia, Russia, Turkey, and Malaysia. So as far as these countries are concerned, again, a quick review of the universities. This is one of the options we have in Malaysia, formerly called as the Penang Medical College. It is now an entity owned by RCSI and UCD. Now, for those who have a good memory, we just discussed about RCSI and UCD in the Ireland segment. So these are the 2 Irish universities who have combined together and established a medical college, or rather we would say a joint venture, and set up a medical college within the Penang Medical Institute, and it's called as the RCSI UCD Malaysia Campus, RUMC. They offer 5 years English taught medicine program. And the striking feature of this particular university is that because it's an Irish university, it will allow you to study the first 2.5 years of your education in Ireland and the remaining 2.5 years back in Malaysia. So you get exposure in both the countries. We all know how international Malaysia is. There are people from all over the world staying in Malaysia. So it's a great exposure to have. And I'm sure, a lot of you would like considering options like this. Moving on to Turkey, again, within the Middle East, one of the countries which is very popular for medical education. Here we are again dealing with 2 universities, the Eastern Mediterranean University and the Istanbul Aydin University. So Istanbul University, I'm sure I don't need to tell you where it is. It's in Istanbul. And the Eastern Mediterranean University, it's there in the North Cyprus region of Turkey. They both offer English taught programs in dentistry and medicine. For Georgia, we have 3 universities again. 2 of them are like the government and the most prominent universities of Georgia, which is the Tbilisi State Medical University. We call it as TSMU. and the other is Ivane Javakishvili Tbilisi State University. We call it as TSU. So these are two of the oldest government recognized, government established universities. And then there is one more university, that is the European University in Tbilisi, which has multiple intakes in the academic year. So you miss the September intake, you can apply for the Feb intake. You miss that, you can apply for the next intake, and so on. All these universities, in combination, they offer the medicine program, the dentistry program. Another special feature you mentioned, you can see here very clearly, the third point. One of these universities, that is the Tbilisi State Medical University, also offers a 6 years USMD program, which means you are going to have a degree which is based on the US curriculum, because this university is associated with the Emory University in Atlanta, USA. So the curriculum is developed along with that. And there are also semesters wherein you will be studying for some time in Georgia and some time in the Emory University in Atlanta, USA as well. So really, really promising programs being offered here as well. Definitely something to look at. And these are some of the options in Russia. Again, there are many options. Due to the shortage of time, we are just displaying a few of them. IM Sessionov First Moscow State Medical University, Dersav Tambov State University, Astrakhan University, and many more. I'm sure all of you would have heard of these universities a little bit because they were very actively involved in the vaccination development for the COVID. In fact, the first vaccine which was reported from Russia, that is the Sputnik vaccine, was indeed developed by the laboratories in IM Sessionov First Moscow State Medical University. And obviously, their doctors and the researchers were from all these universities working together on the common cause. So that's one great achievement there with these set of universities. They again offer the English taught programs in dentistry and medicine. Now, before I show you and take you to this most important slide, which you probably are waiting for, admission requirements, one simple thing I want to cover. All the European and the non-European countries we have covered so far. So I'm not including USA and Canada in that. So all the European and non-European universities that we have covered so far, many people feel that, okay, they teach in their local language. I've very clearly said the answer is no, they teach in English. However, from the senior years of your medical curriculum, which means the third and the fourth year, when you start interacting with the patients a little bit, you start having lectures in the hospitals, at that time, you should have the language proficiency to be able to communicate with the patients. So due to that reason, from the year one itself, they start imparting you the language training, which is more like a hobby class. From what we hear from our students, they really enjoy these classes because they get a break from the heavy and the difficult academics of, let's say, medicine or dentistry. So it's more on the side of, learning a new language, which is like a hobby, and you are able to interact with the local people out there. So will you be learning a new language? Answer is yes. Will the course be taught in English? Answer is 100% yes. The course will be taught in English. Coming to the admission requirements part, I'm sure you were waiting for this. As I said, things will come in bits and pieces, but in a way that will make you understand everything together. So if we talk about USA and Canada, we have two columns or two rows here. One specifies for the pre-med because the requirements are different, and one for medicine and dental because the requirements are different. So for pre-med in USA, Canada, you will require standardized exams like the SAT or the ACT. Now, many universities also provide exemptions from this exam depending on your school curriculum. So that is something which I will address towards the end, that what happens for the requirements of your specific curriculum. Don't worry about that. Now, as far as the IELTS exam is concerned, they will require IELTS as well, where we do advise students to score in excess of 6.5 to 7. Alternatively, you can also use TOEFL. TOEFL range would be somewhere between 85 to 90. However, there will be universities accepting you at 6 as well, but then obviously it's always better to prepare for the higher grade. There will not be any university specific exam for pre-med in USA and Canada. There may be interview from university to university, it will vary. Then you can see the same thing for the USA and Canada medicine dental program. I would advise you to take a screenshot if you want, so that you have all the information concise in front of you. For UK, you will have to give the UCAT or the BMAT exam, and there will be IELTS as well. There will be no university specific exam in most cases. And then there will be series of interviews, which in UK are popularly known as the MMI, the multiple mini interviews. Now, in the next set of countries, as you see, Czech Republic, Hungary, Italy, Germany, and Lithuania, there is no standardized exam. You don't have to give SAT, ACT or anything like that, you have to give university specific exam. As I told you in the beginning, there won't be any standardized exam. The best part is they do not even have requirement of an IELTS, because they will judge your English proficiency on the basis of your high school performance and on the basis of your performance in their entrance test itself. They may have interviews as well. Now, looking at the next set of countries, Cyprus, Georgia, Malaysia, Latvia, Poland, Russia, and Turkey, again, similar process for all of them. No standardized exam is required. IELTS may be required in some of them. University exam is not required. There is a minor correction on the slide there. There is no university exam required for Cyprus, Georgia, Malaysia, Latvia, Poland, Russia, and Turkey, which means for these universities, you do not have to give SAT, you do not have to give ACT, you do not have to give any university specific exam as well. Only and only your high school grade would be sufficient. That's about the admission requirements, the general overview of what all exams do I have to prepare for. Now we move on to the next most important slide, or maybe the most important slide of the day, the summary of the tuition fee. Now, if you look at the summary of the tuition fee, we have nicely drafted it in the, let's say, ascending order. So you can see the country which has the least and the most affordable tuition fee, in fact, at the top, followed by the ones which are, let's say, slightly more expensive in terms of the tuition fee and cost of living. So looking at Russia, we understand that the tuition fee is within the range of $3,000 to $4,000. Cost of living roughly $3,000. So if you take the ceiling amount, the total cost annually would be $7,000. Please remember, this is annual fee summary, which will be multiplied by the duration of the course. So $7,000 per year. Then for Georgia, we have roughly $10,000. Then if you look at Czech Republic, Spain, Italy, Hungary, very similar, between $20,000 to $23,000. Germany, in a private university, it will cost you somewhere around $35,000. But in a public university, you can see it's ridiculously less, obviously because of the advantage that you get by obtaining the language proficiency. In Ireland, it is slightly costly, just like it is in UK. All these countries are pretty costly, as you can see. So I'm sure this gives you a very good overview of what are the tuition fees in different places, what are the general requirements on different places, and things like that. Now, I'm sure you are also worrying about the scholarships. So like there is a huge list of tuition fees available here. Is there any advantage I can get? So we will talk about the scholarships as well. So in USA and Canada, for the pre-med courses, scholarships are available. And this scholarship amount can vary anywhere between 5% to 30%. As I said, for pre-med courses only. For the medical courses, situation is very same in USA, Canada, and UK, which means there is very, very little possibility of scholarships, especially for international students for these programs, that is general medicine and dentistry. In Europe, again, scholarship does not really happens for the first year, but for sure from the second year onwards, on the basis of your performance within the university, dean selects certain students, the dean of the university selects certain students and offers them scholarship. For Georgia, Turkey, Russia, and Malaysia, again, not most people require scholarship to study here because the tuition fees are already highly subsidized, as most of these universities are government entities. So this is the information about scholarship. Now, if you're wondering, like, does it mean there are no scholarships? Well, to a large extent, the answer is yes. Hence, this is one factor you should keep in mind when deciding a medical university. Don't select a university which has $50,000 and then hope I will get $20,000 scholarship. Instead, then search for universities which are having that budget which you are actually thinking about. There are different type of universities available, and I'm sure, as I said, it's very subjective. One university can be good for other, not good for the other. It's very subjective on basis of your requirement, and you will certainly find the right one for you if you make the search in the right way. So then, if we look at the deadline, when to apply, another very important question people are at times not really clear about, and many times it happens that they miss the deadlines. These are the deadlines to be followed. These are the ideal deadlines, which means the exact deadlines may differ from university to university, but as experienced counselors and the authorized representatives of the university, we highly recommend you to follow these deadlines. As far as USA and Canada is concerned, for the pre-med program, you have to start applying 9 to 12 months before the course start date. So usually, majority of the universities worldwide start in September every year. So if you are aiming to get admission in September 2022, I think you can do the math now, which means your application process should start somewhere around September, October 2021. In UK, the process is slightly more extended because there is an entrance exam at the very beginning, that is the UK CAT and the BMAT exam. It has to start 12 to 15 months before the course start date. Okay, so which means if you are looking at UK and you are a high school student right now, this is the time you start in the month of June and July, so that you get an intake in next year, September 2022. That's how long the process is, because you have to prepare for the exam, you have to give the exam, fill the UCAS portal, go through the interviews, and then get the admission. Okay. Moving on to European countries, same as US, Canada, start 9 to 12 months before the course start date. I gave you the example already. Russia, Georgia, Turkey, and Malaysia, you can start up to 6 months before the course start date, not more delayed than that. So which means if the intake is in September, you can definitely think of starting somewhere around, let's say, Jan and Feb. Now, another important question. People are usually aware of, okay, if I study in USA and Canada or maybe UK, I know what the track is. But if I study somewhere else, let's say in Europe or any other non-English speaking country, then what are the future options? So for all the European countries, or let's say Georgia, Russia, Turkey, Malaysia, the countries we discussed, the options are as followed. So after 6 years of MD program, international students can apply for a PhD or doctoral program specialties within the same country, any other country in Europe, or even outside of Europe. The degrees, as I said, are recognized by standard accrediting bodies like the World Health Organization, the GMC and the NMC, and so on. So you can obviously do that. Second option, you can continue to practice in the same country, or as I said earlier, apply for specialization. Third, you can also apply for the USMLE exam. I'm sure a lot of you already know this. It's United States Medical Licensing Examination, which is to get licensure in the USA. Now, if you are studying in the USA, you still have to give the USMLE exam. So there is absolutely no difference between a student who is studying in USA or the one who is studying outside of USA as far as the process of USMLE is concerned. For sure, the European university students will have to prepare for this as an additional exam, which a lot of them start doing from the second, third year itself, if they have the right direction that, okay, I have to go this country only. If it's about UK, then currently UK had exam called as the PLAB exam to get the UK GMC licensure. However, it is very much anticipated that this exam will be replaced by UK MLE, which is going to be on the similar lines of USMLE as well. So the process is very simple, very straightforward. If you study in Europe or any other country which we mentioned like Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Malaysia, you can still go and do your specialization from anywhere in the world you want. It's entirely up to you. And I'm sure all of you know that when you are doing specialization, you're already working as a junior doctor within the hospital. So it reduces the burden of the tuition fee, which makes it a very, very, very good option. So these are the options available for you if you study your medicine program from, let's say, the non-English speaking countries. Now we address the elephant in the room. How do I choose the right medical university? So I'm sure all this while you were wondering that, okay, I know about the process now. I know about the requirements. I know about the tuition fees as well. And I know about the deadlines. So now how do I choose the right medical university? With all our years of experience, we have identified the most important factors which you should look at when deciding the universities, and we will be discussing about them right now. The first and the most important point, which a lot of students struggle with, is the ranking. They keep wondering about the ranking. So we always want to let you know that if you are looking at engineering, business studies, humanities, no harm in going for the ranking. But if you're looking at medicine program, your first preference should always be recognition. Is this degree going to be recognized in as many countries as possible or in as many accrediting bodies as possible, which will ensure that in future you do not face any issues. So always consider recognition above ranking. Second factor, always look at how many international students are studying in that particular country or in that particular university. Also look at the attached clinical hospitals. how many students are there in the university, and how many hospitals is the university associated with, which will give you an idea about the hands-on training which you will be able to obtain, which is the next point as well, that is the internships and hands-on training. Another factor you should look at is the language of instruction. I very clearly mentioned in the presentation all the while that all the universities we discussed today have English taught courses available. But still, whenever you're applying, you should cross-check this point. And the last, but never the least, I would say the most important point again is the annual budget. Do not go by the consideration of scholarship, realistic budget, and plan accordingly for both tuition fee and cost of living. Other factors like scholarship, we already told you it's very difficult to obtain for international students. Second factor, obtaining part-time jobs and things like that, they are all things of something which will happen later on. But you should always plan keeping your exact budget in mind, thinking that you'll have to fund this or rather provide this budget for the next 5 to 6 years. So these are the most important pointers which I want all of you to be aware of whenever you are choosing a medical university. And if you do this, I'm sure you will not choose a wrong university for sure. Now, we actually want to go a step ahead and make it a little bit more easier for you. How do I find the right medical or dental school? We were working around for this as well, and I think that we have got the solution for you as well. So this is, an advantage that you are there in the webinar today. You will get to experience this yourself. We have recently launched a new platform called as Find a Course. As you can see, in this, you can find the best fit university. You can search universities from all over the world. Let me just repeat that once, all over the world. You can search for the right courses, do a lot of things. Let me just take you to the web page rather than describing it, rather we'll see it live. I'll have to reshare my screen, so please bear with me. I'm sure you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, Ratnesh, we can.
Thank you, Tejas. So this is the Search and Connect page. The URL is there on the slide. I will show it back to you again. So as you can see, it's Search and Connect with the universities worldwide. So you can type any course you like, and you can select the respective country for that course, the respective level. So you will be doing a bachelor's degree, obviously, and then press the Search Now button. And then our portal will do the magic for you. So, we just discussed about USA and Canada, as I told you that we have to do, let's say, a biology degree sort of. So let me say, if I type something like a biology, there are many options. Let's say I select the general biology here. And let's say I want to do the pre-med in Canada, or I will also select, let's say, USA for that matter. And I select the bachelor level study and I click on Search Now. So let's see how many options you have. I'm sure you're not running out of options, are you? You have 3,109 options within Canada and USA offering courses related to biology. As you can see, the universities, whether it's in Canada or in USA, are going to be mentioned here in this particular page. Now, there are several information which you can already see. You can see the rankings. Wherever it's not applicable, it is mentioned NA. Whether it is, if it is applicable, you will see the ranking number there. You can see the duration of the course. You can see the cost of living of that particular, let's say, city within the country. And you can also see the range of tuition fee for that particular course. There are a lot of interesting filters given out here. Let's say you have made a budget. Okay, I'm not looking at anything more than $10,000 or $20,000. You can just click that option and apply the filter. Let's say you're only looking at ranked universities. You can do that as well and apply the filter, and you will see only those universities which are ranked in the QS and the THA system. And so you will be able to, narrow down the options. Obviously, it's difficult to look at all 3,100 options, but if you have the time, we have it all listed all for you. So that's about the portal. Now, next step, what's the next step that you can do? You can shortlist as many universities as you like. Let's say I'm interested in Acadia University. I wish I could study biology again, but let's say for now, I'm just choosing some options which I randomly like. As you see, while I'm doing this, on the right side, you can see 3 emails are ready. Now, this is the fun part. What is going to happen if I press on the Connect Now button? As soon as I press on the Connect Now button, I will have to verify my email, which is a standard process, obviously, to reduce the spam. Once the email is verified, you press the Connect Now button and the email will actually go to the 3 universities that you have selected in the back. The email will go to the university and the university will respond back to you for whatever query you have. Let me just actually take a step ahead and show you the remaining part of the process as well. I hope you guys are not checking on my number, but yeah, it's there on the website anyways. Okay, I'll receive an OTP on my email ID to ensure the universities don't receive any spam email. And as soon as I press the OTP given here, and then the real magic will begin. This will save hours of research that you are going to do. Look at this. The email is going to be sent to Acadia University, Brandon, and Burman University, which are the 3 universities I selected in the backend. The subject headline is customized as per the input that I gave. So this is an inquiry from Ratnesh right now, which is me. And then you can select what exactly you want to know about. So let's say you want to know about the admission requirements, you want to know about the deadlines, you want to know about scholarship, you know what, just select everything like. And then you can press the send email button. As soon as you do that, as you can see, the email will be sent to those universities from the backend. So that's how simple it is. As you can see, you have done it. I mean, we have done it together right now on the call. The emails have been sent to the universities. And now you just have to keep track of your email because the universities will respond directly to you. So just like I showed you biology, now that you are here, you can type any other course you like. Let's say medicine, general medicine. As you can see here, press the apply filter button and you will see as many results once again. Use the filters, identify the best choices you have, press the connect now button and let the universities respond back to you. I'm sure you are already loving this platform and please feel free to explore it later as well. Now I'll be moving back to the presentation. So there will be again a change of screen. I hope you are able to see the new screen as well. Tejas, would you be kind enough to confirm
Yes.
again?
Yes, we can, Ratnesh.
Thank you so much. So that's about the URL as I promised you. It's www.ganberry.com/find-a-course. I'm sure many of you are doing it already, but please wait for a few more minutes because there are a lot of important information still coming. Now, out of so many, obviously, information that we have given to you, there are a lot of reasons why people prefer to work with Canberry. We are the authorized representatives of, as I said, more than 200 universities worldwide. And the best part is that we provide end-to-end support, right from counseling. Today is a webinar. Let's not count this as a counseling. Let's say you have queries after this and you book a session with us. That's where the journey starts. From counseling till the time you have your visa in your hand, we have every service lined up for you. We also have the most exciting free admission assistance services, which means for most, let me not say most, for none of our partner universities, we charge you anything. Only thing you pay is the official application fee. If there is any cost regarding the document attestations and things like that, or if there is an entrance exam, then the cost of the exam. Ganberry services will remain free for you as far as all our partner universities are concerned. So do not worry about the costs. You will get complete consultation from start till the end, and you will be paying only the amount which you are supposed to pay, the official application fee. If there is an entrance exam, then entrance exam fee, otherwise nothing else apart from that. Now, I also mentioned one thing in between that 2 of our students managed to top the exams. There are many more students actually who have topped the exams, and a lot of them who have cleared the exams. And a lot of credit of that definitely goes to the entrance preparation, which the team of Ganberry is conducting here. So we have organized standard prep material and comprehensive prep material, the 2 bifurcations. Standard prep material are free, available for everyone once you register with Ganberry. And the comprehensive prep material are for extra practice. These materials will include mock tests, which will definitely multiply your chances of passing the exam. Not 1, not 2, up to 3 mock tests. And also, there are practice tests for every topic. So just imagine there is biology. Within that, you have 20 topics. For every topic, you will have a practice test so that you can simply go to that topic which you are not feeling very confident about and improve that. Once you are done with all such tasks, you can then give the mock test. And after that, you give the actual university exam. Now tell me why you feel you won't be able to clear. There is so much of support available. In fact, our prep material also includes the past year university papers as well, which means the questions, the kind of questions that have been asked in the exams in the past would be there in our material. So that will give you complete assistance on preparing for these medical universities if they have an entrance exam. Now, as I said in the very beginning, many things will be cleared by the time the presentation ends. Few things which will still require some explanation is, let's say I am an A-level student, I have this subject, can I apply to that university? So for such questions, I want you to understand that this is a webinar and there are a lot of participants here, as you see, maybe having different curriculums and different questions like this. So this question or this type of question would be best addressed in a one-to-one session, for which we invite you. You can visit our website. Here you can see the snap of our website. You can visit www.gyanberry.com and click on book an appointment as you see out there. Once you do that, you will be able to schedule a counseling session, obviously video counseling session, at your convenience. So you can stay at your home, stay safe, book a session with one of our experienced counselors and ask those questions in the counseling session, that these are my subjects, what universities am I going to get, or I want to get into this university, what subjects and what exams do I have to take. Any sort of questions which is related individually to you will be best answered within the counseling session. So I request all of you to make use of this opportunity, book the appointment, have a word with our counselor and get all your queries resolved. Still, we have a little bit of time in hand, so I will be using that time for the Q&A session.